Good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday, June 24th, 2025. My name is Sam Shalhoub, and it's time for your daily dispatch. First up, according to Zero Hedge, the Ninth Circuit struck down California's 1 in 30 gun rationing law. They were trying to keep us here in California to only buy one gun in a 30-day period, and the Ninth Circuit shut that down. Yesterday in the Sean Combs case, it looks like the prosecutors called 34 witnesses, the defense lawyers, 0. I wonder why that would be. Yesterday, the Federal Reserve officially ended what they called a, quote, reputational risk oversight. In other words, easing the crypto banking restrictions. According to the Daily Wire, President Trump's FTC secured a landmark agreement to end political collusion in the advertising industry. According to Zero Hedge, the Supreme Court handed President Trump a huge win on deporting, quote, worst of the worst illegals. Now, which justices dissented? Well, you guessed it. Sotomayor, Ketanji Brown Jackson, and Elena Kagan. No real surprise there. So as we have been all aware of, Iran and Israel are going at it. President Trump steps in, and we all know what happened over the weekend. Well, yesterday, Iran fired missiles at U.S. forces in Qatar and Iraq. Now, apparently there were 0 fatalities. I don't think anyone was even injured. But the fact that they did that was interesting. There was no casualties or even impacts reported from the Iranian missile attacks on the U.S. bases. They were all intercepted. But there's much more that happened yesterday. President Trump came out late morning and said essentially that there is a ceasefire between Iran and Israel. And it would be in the next 6 hours. This was yesterday. Well, after this took place, we had Iran and Israel firing missiles at each other after the ceasefire was announced by President Trump. Now, this is all speculation here, and we're going to dive deep into this in our 9 a.m. Pacific time live today, and we'll be on all platforms. But it is my opinion that Israel needs to be held accountable for what they've done, not only recently, but in years past. Is Israel going to break this ceasefire? Is there going to be, there's going to be something happening, it sure seems like to me. Now, we're going to discuss it, as I said, much deeper at our live broadcast at 9 a.m. this morning. So hopefully you can join us for that. And then right after all of this hoopla yesterday, J.D. Vance came out and said, quote, this could be a new dawn of an economic age of prosperity for Iran and the entire Middle East. There's a lot more going on behind the scenes than people realize, and I, for one, am not concerned at all. And then yesterday, after all that's been going on in Iran, crude oil futures dropped by almost 5%. Sure doesn't seem to add up to me. I would love to hear what you think about it as well. And then last night, President Trump's approval soared again. He's up to 56%. Now, if that's what they're saying it is, you know that it's got to be much, much higher than that. And then this morning, President Trump was asked by people in the media what's going on. And he said some things that were, well, let's just say spicy. He said, quote, Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. Trump said Israel and Iran, and I'm quoting here, quote, don't know what the fuck they're doing. Some very strong words from our commander-in-chief. Now, I think, as I said, there's much more going on behind the scenes. But the fact that he came out with such severe language, buckle up. I think we're just getting started here. Make sure that your tray tables and your seat backs are in their up and locked position, because it's it sure looks like it's go time. So that's all we have for today. If you'd like to support this channel, go to samshalhoub.com. There's multiple ways to do it. Or go to mypillow.com and use the discount code SAM. And in the meantime, I hope you have a great day, and we'll talk again soon.